Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you to please take your seats. I'd like to welcome you to the Westbury Union Free School District Board of Education Action Meeting. This will be the last action meeting of the 2021-22 calendar year. If you notice that there is someone else that is presiding over this proceeding, and that's myself, Floyd Ewing. Unfortunately, a few of our board members are under the weather and they are home probably watching at this point in time. We wish them well and a speedy recovery. At this time, I'm going to ask the district clerk.
She went to make copies of the agenda.
Okay.
Because it's just a great turnout that we needed a lot more. So she'll be right back.
As a result of that, we will take a station break for until the district clerk comes back. At this time, I'd like to ask that Dr. Roger Bloom, serve as the district clerk pro tem and call the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We will now call the meeting to order, and we're going to take a roll call. Vice President, Mr. Floyd Ewing III.
Present.
Trustee, Mr. Rodney A. Keynes.
Present.
Trustee, Mr. Pedro Quintanilla.
Present.
And Trustee, Ms. Michelle Wilson.
Present.
Mr. Vice President, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Dr. Bloom. At this time, we're going to ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent meditation. We are pleased to have such a wonderful turnout at this time. I know that we are online, and for those who are at home, we ask that you please, if you have any questions regarding tonight's agenda or anything regarding anything concerning the district, if you could please put your questions in the chat, and we will address them at the time when there's a public meeting, public comment. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the minutes of May 3rd, minutes of May 10th, the minutes of May 19th, and the minutes of May 24th. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Quintanilla, second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor? Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Quintanilla?
Aye.
Aye. Floyd Ewing. Motion passes. Unanimous. At this time, I'm going to turn this portion of the meeting over to our superintendent, Dr. Chase.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is another festive board meeting. It is so wonderful to see the many constituents and stakeholders of the Westbury Union Free School District present at our meeting this evening. I'd like to start our meeting by stating that we've actually started a little bit earlier this evening. We started at 6:45, congratulating our retirees from the class of 2021 and the class of 2022. And so I ask our Vice President to please share with me in acknowledging those retirees, those who've given so much of themselves to our beloved scholars here at the Westbury Union Free School District. When we were celebrating them, we acknowledged how many years of service many of them gave. It was 27 years, 40-somewhat years, 30-somewhat years, and we thank them for their service. And I must say, may your next chapter be your best chapter for those who are sitting in the audience, retirees. So, Mr. Ewan, please join me in acknowledging our retirees. And we just ask that those retirees who are in the audience, who are brave enough to stay for the meeting, when you hear your name, please stand so that you can be acknowledged once again.
In our business office, we like to welcome, say goodbye to, or so long, next chapter, to Gail Martini, Count Clerk. She's not here. Ms. Dawn Shore, Teacher Assistant, District-wide, Special Ed. Mr. Kevin Hannon, Maintainer. Ms. Sherry DeBillis, Assistant Principal, Drexel School. No. Mr. Rodney McKay, Phys Ed Teacher. Dr. Wanda Toledo, Principal, Drexel Avenue School. Ms. Kristen Dixon, Dryden Street School. Ms. Susan Gabriel, Social Worker, Park Avenue. Ms. Josephine Marchigani. Ms. Juanita Sherwood, Assistant Principal. Mr. John Carsick, Powell's Lane. Ms. Angelo Diglio. Ms. Irene Wegler. Ms. Vincenza Diglio. Mr. Dennis Fanning. Mr. Brian Rhodes. Mr. Jess Smith, Ms. Sinette Martin, Ms. Anju Abaroy, and Mr. Lewis White, Jr. We'd like to thank you all for your years of service, for serving our students and our district in a whole in our community. Westbury is a truly special place, and it only can be special with the people that are involved and have a hands-on with our students, and each one of you have done a wonderful job of making our students feel welcome and safe and educated. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
On May 23rd, several members of our Westbury Union Free School District family were honored at the 2022 Scope Awards for Excellence. Congratulations to the following recipients of the 2022 Scope Awards of Excellence. Scope held its 21st annual School District Awards dinner and presented a plaque to select individuals who have contributed outstanding service to their school district, our school district. Congratulations to all, and thank you for all that you do for the scholars of Westbury Union Free School District. Dr. Roger Bloom was honored for administrator service. Dr. Bloom. Ms. Sherry DeBillis was honored. Unfortunately, Ms. DeBellis isn't here tonight receiving her, no, I'm joking, but she isn't here, but she will receive her certificate. Dr. Nicolette James was honored for teaching service. Mr. Floyd Ewing III, Esquire, was honored for school board service. Mr. Ewing, come on up. Trustee Rodney Keynes for school board service. Please stand up. And my beloved administrative assistant, Ms. Christine Giordano. Come on down. There's more. Congratulations to the scope winners. On May 23rd, that was a very busy day, Drexel students co-hosted a press conference alongside Audubon, New York, and New York State Parks to celebrate the beginning of beach season and to help protect threatened beach nesting birds. Every May through August, vulnerable piping American oyster catchers and lease terns raise chicks on our beaches and offshore islands, chicks that weigh less than a single scoop of ice cream. When people and pets get too close, the birds often fly off in fear. This leaves their chicks vulnerable to fatally high temperatures, predators, and even accidental death. The students have been working with their art teacher to create educational signage about the birds. At the event, staff from Audubon, New York, presented each student with a weatherproof version of their sign, which will be put on display at local beaches around protected nesting areas. Each student received an official certificate from the Office of Nassau County Executive in celebration of their conservation work. Remarks were given by students themselves, as well as Suffolk County legislator Rob Trotta and New York State Parks. So there are some students we wish to commend for your hard work in protecting wildlife. And also, too, we're honored to know that your signage will be displayed at local beaches. Let's give it up for these students. And their teachers. Angeli Herrera, please come forward if you are here. Natalie Ayala, please come forward if you are here. Darwin Flores, please come forward if you are here. There we go. I need some help. Thank you. Jennifer Escobar Martinez, please come forward. Daniela Maldonado, please come forward. Andrew Lara, please come forward. Mohammed Zaman, please come forward. Flores, where are you? Please come forward. She's not here? Thank you. Jocelyn Sasa, please come forward. Axel Flores, please come forward. I got it right here. Come on down. Nice job. And Adrian Bonilla, are you here? Please come forward. Students who receive this award ought to be commended for a job well done, and we thank you so much for giving of yourselves. So, do you want to stand here, board members? If you want to join in, please. You need to join in. And now it's time to acknowledge our student athletes. Varsity Girls Badminton Team, New York State Public High School Scholar Athlete Team Award. Westbury's Girls Varsity Badminton Team, coached by Patricia Muller, earned the New York State Public High School Scholar Athlete Team Award. The award is given to a team that has a cumulative 90 or above grade point average during their season. The varsity badminton team's average GPA, was 92.71. Congratulations to the entire team and their coach, Coach Muller. We would like to acknowledge our athlete scholars. Thank you so much. Starting with Talia Ramirez, are you here? Soraya Desrosier. Gavina Dorsey. I hope I'm, okay. No. Tanisha Phils Aim. Brenda Galdamez. So I'm just looking at you. You'll tell me who's here or not. Okay. Is Yemi Galdamez here? Okay. Daylin Hidalgo. Yes. Chantel Cruz. Glonic Leonce. Linda Liu. All right. Amy Luis. Alani Mambahal. Ruchama Mitchell. That's right, strut honey, yes. With pride. Marianis Marquette. Estefany Rivera. Carla Sanchez, and Isabel Galindo. Coach Muller, is there anything that you wish to add? Can we give it up for Coach Muller?
Good evening. These girls are absolutely a fantastic bunch. This is only about 3/4 of our team, since the average is calculated from the top 75%. The 25% who are not here also contributed tremendously this season. They are absolutely wonderful in the court and as well as in their classrooms. A lot of them are enrolled in AP classes, and they're preparing for their Regents exams starting tomorrow. So good luck, ladies, and thank you for a fantastic season.
I also want to add that all of these young ladies receive a gold enamel pin from the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, and their names all are sent out to all the schools in New York State for winning this award. So great publicity for Westbury. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for making us laugh, Mr. Swazi. All righty. Thank you. Congratulations. Let's give it up for these ladies one more time. Good job.
Wish to congratulate our ladies, doing us proud as far as not only athletically but academically. Having at least 3 board members that participated in athletic sports at Westbury schools, we understand the amount of time it takes and dedication to not only perform your athletic event, but also to maintain a GPA on an average of 92. That's honorable. So thank you very much for your time and dedication. Thank you, Coach Miller, for your emphasis on academics as well as athletics. Thank you. At this time, I would like to, I have the privilege of happening upon a play that was done in our school district by high school students in the Little Theater. The only reason I went to the play is I didn't hear much publicity about it, but the only reason I went to the play is because my daughter wanted to go and see and cheer on her friends. But what was interesting about the play was called The Bloodless Heir. What was interesting about the play was a play written, directed, and composed by our very own Westbury students. One of our students, I think she's here, yes, Miss Khadija Abdul Musawa. She wrote, if you come down, Khadija. Come on down, Khadija, come down. She wrote the play. Actually, it was actually very good. It was not a short play. It was a 2-hour play, so it was a full-fledged play. They blocked. They did the sets. They did the set design. They did everything. They raised the money. They got the money to do it. It was a full-on run, student-led production. And I just want to say to our retirees, to our soon-to-be newly minted teachers, to our probationary teachers, to our soon-to-be newly minted principal, this is the results of the time and effort you put into our students, that they can be creative like this. And Oscar Magia composed the music, composed all the music. He is also a Westbury High School senior who is graduating, and he has been he's in the audience? So he is a musical genius that has always inspired me, because I would coach him as a Little League player, but I didn't know he had such musical talent. So I'm proud of each and every one, not only Miss Khadijah, but also all the students that participated in the play. I'm so very proud of them. I'm so very proud of them, and I'm also proud of the teachers that influenced them in order to make it happen. So thank you very much, Khadijah. Would you like to say something, Khadijah?
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Khadijah Abdul Musower. I've only physically been here for 1 year, but one thing that I know is like extremely valuable in Westbury High School is the open communication that I've been able to have with administrators and my principal. And with such communication, I was able to bring about just some ideas in my head into an actual tangible presentation, which was the play, The Bloodless Heir. And I couldn't have done it without my wonderful cast. There's Jeffrey in the background. Another one of my composers, Isabel, she's right there too. Laiba Shahid, who is also there and helped with props. Janae, who is a backstage member, also there, present. And if I were to leave with any words, it's that no matter how small, we do have a voice, and sometimes all it takes is for us to actually reach out, because there is a way to actually bring that voice into fruition and to make it come about in the way we imagine it. So, thank you.
If anybody ever wanted to know what does a Westbury Union Free School District student profile look like, you just saw it. Thank you to Miss Khadijah and her crew in the back. We are so very proud of you, and we're looking forward to wonderful things to come.
Thank you. Just on another note, yesterday, the superintendent and I had the honor of being invited by the Nassau County and Nassau County BOCES, as well as the Nassau County Police Department and Homeland Security, to advise us of the updates and communication that they're going to do with school districts regarding active shooters and emergencies of the like. Nassau Community, Nassau County Police Department is working very diligently with the schools to open the lines of communications, to make sure that their presence is felt in the school district, to make sure that we know that they are a resource for us in both training as well as being present in our school district, so that we can prevent any occurrences that may come further down the line. And so we're prepared for that both in the school and without the school. So it was a great meeting, a great beginning. They have things that they're working on, and they're going to be communicating with the district more and more as they begin to roll out the different programs. So it was a very informative day, and we're looking forward to seeing the results of those programs. So thank you. At this time, I turn it over to the superintendent for the superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. First and foremost, I just want to thank the community, the educators, the Westbury Union Free School District, my school board, and my administrative cabinet for a fantastic first year. I started July 1, and we're almost approaching my anniversary, and I just want to thank everyone, the community as well, and community leaders and elected officials for welcoming me to the Westbury School District. It really feels great to be here, and I feel that I've landed in the right place. I want to congratulate the class of 2022. Let's give it up for them. I cannot wait to confer those diplomas on the 24th of June. These students earn every great thing that is coming their way, and we are so very proud of them. These are the students that endured a pandemic, and yet they rose to the occasion. So they are to be commended, as well as their teachers for standing by them. Congratulations, class of 2022, and to all of the students who are moving up at the middle school and elementary school. I want to congratulate also, because this is such a congratulatory meeting, and I love these festive meetings, and this is what a board meeting should look like, right? I just want to congratulate our schools for their performances. I know Khadijah and her team did a fantastic job, but I also want to celebrate The Lion King, Frozen, Seussical tomorrow, and so many others. I'm just so very proud of our students to show that level of confidence and talent. I continue to say that we are a school district that is heavily focused on the AAA, the academics, the arts, and the athletics, and we prove it each and every other day. So congratulations to those student performers at all of our other schools. I want to congratulate the middle school. The middle school won a $3,000 donation from, I believe it was Grand Prix Subaru, who adopted the middle school. They won this prize last week, and I know that they're finalizing how they're going to use this $3,000 monetary prize. They were selected randomly, and they were super surprised to have won this, but it's no surprise. People see what's happening at Westbury Union Free School District. They want to get in on it too. So congratulations, Westbury Middle School. You guys rock. And it's amazing the acknowledgments that we're getting here in this school district. Let's keep it going. I want to thank my school board. My school board spent last week and today distributing summer reading books. We partnered with Scholastic Education earlier in the year to identify books, culturally responsive, culturally relevant books, where students will see images of themselves through the protagonists in the books. Books were not only delivered to students in the English language, but also in the Spanish language so that students can read along with their families. Each book packet included, there you go, yes. Each book packet included a family guide so that our parents, whether they speak Spanish, whether they speak Haitian Creole, whether they speak English, will access this learning alongside with their child during the summer. I want to thank my school board for embracing this initiative and for going out to the schools to distribute these beautiful, brightly green backpacks filled with 10 brand new books for each child from pre-K through 8. Congratulations. I continue to share this, and Ms. Crawford, let me just preface this by saying this is a compliment. When we were at the middle school and we introduced the books and we said, we have a surprise for you, the kids were like, yeah. Then we said, you know what the surprise is? Yeah, books. They were like, boo. Typical middle school. I worked in middle school for 14 years. They're allowed to do that. But when they received their books and they unpackaged the books and they started to see the characters that looked like them, that may have shared same experiences as them, and then there was an SEL journal to support their social emotional wellness even during the summer, you should have seen the smiles on their faces, the happiness. Students saying, oh, I can't wait to read this. And all of a sudden, reading became cool. That felt good as a former ELA teacher. So each child will begin their classroom library on top of what the book fairies have given to our students. There is no excuse for any child to experience the summer slide at Westbury. We've got them covered. So parents, let's give a shout out to this Board of Education for this fantastic initiative. I want to give a big shout out to Mary O'Neill, our Assistant Superintendent for Business, who found a way to make sure that all our kids had books. And not only that, she found a way monetarily to make sure that in the next year we will do yet another distribution of books for our students. I want to remind our families that on Monday, June 20th, our school district will be closed in observance of Juneteenth. For some families, they're saying, what in the world is this? Why do we have another day off? I will be sending a letter home tomorrow explaining what Juneteenth is and how is it that it came to be a holiday, a federal holiday, where many municipalities, banks, and businesses, as well as schools, will be closed. In addition, I'm including a video, and I want the educators who are here to consider using the video to educate our children as to why are we in this space and why is it called Juneteenth? How did we combine the word June and 19th to create Juneteenth? In my letter, I indicate that in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared the formal end of slavery in the United States. However, change was not instant after that proclamation. Nearly 2.5 years later, on June 19th, 1865, the enslaved African Americans of Galveston, Texas, received the news by way of the Union Army troops that freedom had come at last, 2 years later. The next year, the people of Galveston commemorated that day as Juneteenth, a celebration of freedom. Since then, it has been observed in some communities and in some states as a holiday, but officially recognized as a federal holiday in 2021. The name blends the month June and the number 19. It's a day that is a celebratory day, a celebration of freedom and the joyful recognition of perseverance and the spirit of African Americans in this nation. And as I shared, I will be sharing a video that is age appropriate for students from pre-K all the way through 12, and I would dare say even adults, so that we educate our students. I want to commend the middle school and the high school for participating in the NAACP Juneteenth essay competition. The NAACP asked for a few essays. We turned in more than a few. So those students are to be commended. I understand that they're going to be recognized at the library Friday evening from 7 till 9. If you can go and support our students, that will be fantastic. I want to remind our families that on June 24th, it is our last day of school. We made it, guys. We made it. It's our last day of school. Now, I just want to be clear. While we all celebrate, there are some of us who may suffer from what we call separation anxiety. I know. There are some of us, and there are some of our scholars, our babies, who also suffer from separation anxiety. I ask families who are watching and the educators who are here before me, please pay close attention to our scholars. While it is celebratory for us, for some of them it's really sad. And if we see students who might need additional support, you know that we have the baddest psychologists, social workers, guidance school counselors on the planet who are here to support our scholars. So don't be afraid to refer them. And what we are encouraging our scholars is that if they feel a little struggle, a little depression, a little sadness, a little anxiety, they just don't feel like themselves during the summer and you all are not around for them, please encourage them to speak to someone, a trusting adult. They know how to find us. The administrators are around this summer. I'm around. Just send us a little note and we will be sure to get them the support they need. We are family, and as family, this is what we do for one another. I am now going to ask Ms. O'Neill to share her report this evening. Ms. O'Neill.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. Good evening. We just have a few quick updates. The office is busy closing out the current school year as well as opening up the new one. We're preparing for the audit that starts at the end of the month, and I know that Mr. Stein has been working diligently with our architects to prepare for the meeting next week with the board, where we will discuss possible options for Proposition 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. And now I ask for our Assistant Superintendent for Personnel as well as our COVID Coordinator, Dr. Bloom, to share his report.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. Good evening, everyone. Oh, come on. We have such a big group here. Let's show that Westbury enthusiasm. Good evening. Good evening. All right. All right. We're pumping some life into this meeting. As we start to wind down from our, what we call this year, our new normal, we are going to spend some time over the summer waiting for new guidance to come out from the New York State Department of Health and the CDC and the New York State Education Department to see how we're going to open up for next year in an even more new normal. So we are looking forward to transitioning even further back to the new normal. And when we have guidance and we have procedures, we're going to update everyone over the summer. Wishing you all a great start to the summer. Please recharge, rest, enjoy family. Do what you like to do, and what do they say now? Live your best life. Thank you, everyone.
Wishing everyone a wonderful summer that includes wellness and self-care. Mr. Vice President, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. At this time, we open up the mic and to the portion of the meeting in which we allow the community to ask any questions regarding tonight's agenda items. If anyone is at home that wishes to make any requests, please do so in the chat. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that have any questions regarding tonight's agenda items? Going once. Anything in the chat?
No, sir. There are comments. Do you wish for me to read them?
Yes, please.
There are two comments in the chat. One is from Emily Walcott, who says, "Good evening, congratulations, winners." The other is from Georgina Peralta. Georgina says, "Good evening, board members, Dr. Chase and Westbury Union Free School District. Congratulations to all recognized tonight."
Thank you. There being no questions from the community regarding tonight's agenda items, we will now go forward with voting on agenda items. Non-agenda items will be entertained after we voted on the agenda, yes. At this time, could I have a motion to block vote items 5A, 5C, 5D, 5E, 5F, 5G, 5H, and I, with resolution item 5B being withdrawn?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wilson.
Could you repeat again the items that we're going to be voting on? Block voting?
5A through I, with the exception of 5B, which has been withdrawn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Keynes. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantanilla?
Aye.
And I, Floyd Ewing. Motion passes unanimously. Right. Could I have a motion to accept the resolutions 5A through 5I with the exception of 5D as per our block vote?
So
So,
moved.
second.
So moved by Ms. Wilson, second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Gaines, Ms. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Candinia,
Aye.
and Floyd Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Could I have a motion to accept resolution item 6A? I'm sorry, motion to approve resolution item 6A.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Keynes,
Second.
second by Mr. Cantinia. All in favor? Mr. Keynes?
Keynes, aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Oh,
At this time, we'd like to welcome our probationary teachers.
Excuse me, Vice President Ewing,
Yes.
you didn't vote, sir.
My vote was always going to be yes, but yes.
Thank you.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. I ask if your name is called, please stand. Miss Stephanie Alvario. Ashley Blomquist. Natasha Kornewinski. Amanda Ladenham. Edna Mejia. Anthony Cerverdino, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And Rachel Seedorf. We welcome you to the Westbury School District, and if one of our board members here, Ms. Robin Bowling, was here, she would say Westbury love is real love. Welcome to the family. Now, may I have a motion to approve resolution item 6B?
so moved.
Moved by Mr. Cantinia,
Second.
second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
And Mr. Ewing? Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That was the appointment of civil service positions. We are proud to have them as well. No one is in attendance, but we are very proud to have Mr. Albert Acevedo, Mr. Paul Bergenson, and Jeffrey Redding. Is that C? Yeah, they're part-time substitutes. Okay, yeah. As well as Yves Dersant, Angela Handy, and Nathaniel Santiago. Now, could I have a motion to approve resolution items 6C? Well, I'm going to block vote this. Resolution item C through I, 6C through I. Could I have a motion to block vote resolution item 6C through I? Yeah, I know. This is motion to block vote resolution items 6C through 6I.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cantinia,
Second.
second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now may I have a motion to accept approve, resolution, the block voted resolution 6C through 6I.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Keynes, second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor? Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
Mr. Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Now, can I have a motion to to approve resolution item 6J?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Keynes,
Second.
second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
And Floyd Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations to all of our tenured teachers who are present. When I call your name, please stand. Dr. Wallace, Dr. Hill Wallace. Miss Ashley Hinton. Angelina Amoff. Adrienne Rojas. And Brianna Schuh. We welcome you to the Westbury family. Thank you for spending your time with us and now being officially, as Mr. Troiano said, attached to us for life. So we appreciate you coming and being a part of our district. And we look forward to many more years with you. JK. I have to remember my alphabet. That's okay. You got this. I got you. I know. At this time, could I have a motion to approve resolution item 6K?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Keynes.
Second.
Second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor? Mr. Keynes.
Aye.
Ms. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia.
Aye.
And Floyd Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. At this time, it is truly an honor to welcome Miss Ishelle Mays as our principal for Drexel Avenue School. I want you to say something. I want you to say something.
Miss May, come on up here with me.
I just want to note that Miss May is accompanied by her bodyguards, son Blake, son Robert, and husband Anthony May. Thank you very much for loaning us to us.
After a rigorous interview process, the Board of Education and I are extremely proud to announce the unanimous appointment of Ms. Ishelle May, Principal, Drexel Avenue Elementary School, effective July 15th. Ms. May began her career 26 years ago as an elementary bilingual classroom teacher in Freeport Union Free School District. She served as assistant principal for 3 years at Freeport Union Free School District before being appointed as principal in the Baldwin Union Free School District. Ms. May served as principal for 11 years at Baldwin and served on several committees before joining the Westbury Union Free School District tonight. I will send out more information on Ms. May tomorrow, so I'll just be very brief. As an instructional leader, she believes that all students deserve an opportunity to learn in an environment that encourages them to think and work independently and cooperatively toward problem solving and cultivate inquiry. She applies the same philosophy to encourage faculty and staff to develop a love for learning and take measured risks. She believed that family and community play an integral role in developing each student to be the best version of him or herself. So, as principal of Meadow Elementary School at Baldwin, Ms. May worked tirelessly to address the social emotional wellness of her students. She recognized that educating the whole child ensured a harmonious balance between academic achievement and mental wellness. Ms. May is proud to have created a school environment that celebrated kindness and developed student character and pride in their school. During her tenure as principal, Ms. May's school was named a National School of Character by character.org. In her spare time, Ms. May enjoys music, literature, and cooking new recipes and sharing them with family and friends. She recalls enjoying her abuelitas, cooking as a child, which inspired her love for cooking today. In addition to cooking, Ms. May enjoys traveling and exploring new cultures with her husband and 2 beautiful sons. Ms. May is excited to meet you all and to meet the children of Drexel Avenue Elementary School. You will receive information from the Board of Education and myself on a meet and greet event in the coming weeks. Well, we will host this event before the next school year. Miss Michelle May will replace, who's coming down the aisle. Come on down. Will replace Dr. Wanda Toledo, who selflessly served the Drexel Avenue school community. She has passed the baton. Selflessly served the Drexel Avenue school community for 19 years and 22 years total in our district. She will retire June 30th, and we will all miss her. Dr. Toledo has made herself available during the summer months and beyond to transition our newly appointed principal. The Westbury School District wishes to thank all who participated in the interview process of the Drexel Avenue principalship, and some of you are sitting right here. We are excited for Drexel Avenue's next chapter under the leadership of Michelle May. Please join us in welcoming Miss Michelle May to our Westbury Union Free School District family.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I really can't. I'm really speechless. I mean, to see all of you here and the welcome that I've received is really humbling, and I'm very appreciative and filled with gratitude to think that I've been afforded the opportunity to extend my educational career in such a diverse, inclusive, and committed community. From the moment that I started the interview process, just having the opportunity to see Dr. Toledo in the Zoom screen and know that her stellar leadership was so valuable in this process, and to know that I have her stamp of approval, to know that I can move into this, not that you're replaceable, because you're certainly not, but to be able to walk through your shoes and into the path to Drexel Avenue, and having met many of the Drexelites, I'm really proud. And to see one of my Meadow students in the audience is really, really, you're really trying to make me cry on virtual and in person, but to know that I have my Meadow School behind me and supporting me, and to know that I have a new community of educational excellence waiting for me is wonderful. So for those who are watching, I look forward to meeting you. Para los padres en la comunidad de Drexel, yo estoy muy orgullosa de esta oportunidad y espero verlos en septiembre. So again, I look forward to joining the Westbury family, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in September, or the event you have planned. Thank you, Dr. Chase. You're remarkable. Thank you.
Again, we'd like to congratulate the May family. Welcome to the Westbury family. We look forward to you working with you and educating our scholars and continuing to uplift and continue the job that Dr. Wanda Toledo has started. Thank you so much. Now, could I have a motion to approve resolution item 6L?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Cantonilla, second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantonilla?
Aye. Aye.
And Floyd Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Now,
No, forget that one. Don't do that. Don't do that.
for the moment
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
that most of you have been waiting for this evening, something that's been in a long time in the making, I am very proud to ask for the approval of resolution item 6M.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Keynes and second by Mr. Cantonilla. You have no idea how monumental that was. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Keynes says aye. Ms. Wilson says aye. Mr. Cantonilla?
Mr. Quintanilla says aye.
And Mr. Ewing says aye. Motion passes unanimously. We have a deal. Thank you for your support. Without you and the hard work that you guys do as educators, we cannot boast how wonderful a district we have, how wonderful our scholars are, and how proud we are of the advancements of this district. So thank you very much. We hope that we showed our appreciation, the community shows their appreciation, and we can look forward to continued work together and to continue to support each other. Thank you. Now, could I have a motion to block vote resolution items 7A through I, with the exception of 7K, which has been withdrawn, previously been withdrawn. Okay, so I had I. I don't know why I had I. Okay, let me restate that. Could I have a motion to block votes resolution items 7A through 7L, with the exception of 7K, which has previously been withdrawn?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wilson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Keynes? Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantonilla?
Aye.
Mr. Ewing, aye. Motion passes. Now may I have a motion to accept the block vote as stated?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantonilla?
Aye.
Mr. Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, could I have a motion to accept resolution items approve resolution items 8A through 8I?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cantonilla,
Second.
second by Mr. Keynes, all in favor? Mr.
Keynes, aye.
Ms. Wilson? All right, so could I have a motion to approve, to block vote Resolution 8A through 8I?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Cantinilla. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinilla?
Aye.
Motion passes. Can I have a motion to approve the block vote as stated?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinilla?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now, could I have a motion to block vote Resolutions 13A through H, with the exception of F, which has been withdrawn?
Block voting. So
Block-
moved.
Moved by Mr. Cantinilla,
Second.
second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Keynes, aye. Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinilla?
Aye.
And Mr. Ewing, aye. Motion passes. Now, could I have a motion to accept the block vote, to approve the block vote as stated?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Keynes,
Second.
second by Ms. Wilson. All in favor, Mr. Keynes?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson? Mr. Cantinilla?
Aye.
Mr. Ewing, aye. Motion passes unanimously. At this time, we will open up the microphone to anyone in the community that has any questions regarding anything in the district.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chester McGibbon, 502 Alicia Drive. I really wanted to address this issue at the last board meeting, but the events of that day was just too raw in my mind. But I'm really referencing, I think it was November of last year that Ms. Lavelle raised an issue about some security problems that we may be having in this community. And to the board's credit, I think they acted wisely by, I think, allotting money for security chips and by hiring one Mr. Louis Salazar to look into those issues. Now, let me just say something about Mr. Salazar. Mr. Salazar was the gentleman that saved this district when the ugliness of gangsterism raised its ugly head beginning at the middle school. It was Mr. Salazar and Lieutenant McQuaid of the old Westbury police that cut the head off that beast. So at the time, I was president of the high school PTA. I think I was the first male president in 25 years. I checked that, you can check the records. I went on to serve on all levels of the PTA council except treasurer. So I sort of have an understanding of, you know, the issues that we've been through in terms of some of the problems that we have faced where security is concerned. I again understand that we may be again having another problem at the middle school in terms of, I don't know if it's gangsterism that want to raise its head there, but I do hope that we will take those problems, if they are, in this atmosphere, what's going on with, you know, schools being threatened and all of that, that we'll take it seriously. In the interim, I believe I heard that there was also some breach at one of our buildings where someone was found, discovered to have slept overnight at one of our compounds and was not discovered until the next morning. And I take those things seriously in the light of what's going on in school districts or school communities today. So I do hope that, you know, we are paying special attention to those issues, and that we may at some times maybe get some report from Mr. Salazar if we're going to keep him. I hope it's not just in a consultation capacity. The security of our district, that we can all sleep well at nights, hoping that none of those other situations that are plaguing school districts will raise its head in this community. So, you know, that's just something that I'm concerned about. I don't know if at some stage you might want to provide us with some real overview as to how we stand security-wise in this district, because that is something that bothers me. There's another thing that I read in the Westbury Times. I think it's sometimes in January of this year, that Mr. Charles Oakley was brought in here, you know, as a mentor or to motivate our children. I understand, and it's rumored, but then we know there are three sides to a story, that he was paid $10,000. Not sure how true that is, but just to dispel any rumor that, you know, if that's the going rate, or money from the budget is being paid for that. I don't think that was from the budget, but if that could be addressed just to quell whatever rumors that may be out there. I had brought up before our Zoom situation. I pay attention. We have Dr. Taylor Williams, and I pay attention to what she's doing here. The last time she had a seminar, webinar, I could not tune in, and I think I'd mentioned before that if we could make that Zoom connection a little more user-friendly, because I could not tune in at that time, the last event that she staged, because my 5-year-old grandson was not home and he could not walk me through that process to get connected. So if we could just make that a little easier to get on, because I know that when she dispensed very, very good information. So those are really my concern at this time, and ask if you could, you know, address those in a timely manner. One other thing, I was at the village meeting last month, and there is going to be a 29 multi-unit at the train station, and the gentleman was asked if those so many, how that would impact the school district. And he said that he had a very lengthy discussion with the president of the school board, that it will really be of a benefit. It will really provide benefit to the school district. I'm not sure if, Mr. Vice President, you're aware of what arrangement that this developer has and how that might help us here in our school district. So those are my concerns. And if you want to address them, I would appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. McGibbons. I'll ask the superintendent if she can address any of them at this point in time. With respect to the development that is at the train station, there was a presentation at the Westbury Village, a joint presentation by the village as well as Nassau County on the development project. With respect to what, in fact, the impact of the district is, that's still in negotiation in terms of what benefits will be for the district. As far as the type of housing it will be, there are one and two two-bedroom apartments that has a nice capacity for parking as well. It's not geared for low-income housing at this point in time. They don't anticipate many additions in terms of impact of students coming to the district, but they're also discussing how their benefits, because they are going to be they're getting tax incentives, so how to make the district whole in some type of way.
Are those pilot arrangements?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. McGibbons. How are you?
Good evening, Superintendent.
Thank you. So in reference to a few things that you've said, and I'm glad you brought this to our attention just so that I can clarify that for you. So I do want to clarify that no one slept in one of our buildings. That's not necessarily true. Mm-hmm. We did discover someone on our campus, and upon that discovery, we made immediate actions very early in the morning, but no one slept in one of our buildings. In fact, people cannot get access to our buildings after our buildings are closed, so that's not necessarily true. I do want to let you know that we continue to focus on our safety and security in our school district. We will be continuing to make security upgrades. Some things we can share out publicly, and you know that, some things we cannot. But we will continue to do so. I know Ms. O'Neill has an entire list of things that we plan to do. And I want to thank you and the community for voting for Proposition 2. By your vote of Proposition 2, it also allows us an opportunity to make security upgrades using the $10 million that's going to be available to us. And you are right. Dr. Taylor Williams has done a fantastic job in our school district, and just so that the community knows, her last workshop focused on how to talk to students about incidents that take place in schools, not necessarily our school, but this came days after the Uvalde massacre, and we understand that some students may have felt frightened, some students may have felt some anxieties, and so I think within 2 days, we held this workshop, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was right before Memorial Weekend, and you know, we tried to put it out there as much as we can, the workshop that is, but I think, you know, Mr. McGibbons, perhaps maybe we can continue to look at ways in which you can just click one button and get to it. And I'm so sorry that you could not access it. It is archived, and we'll be sure to send it to you so that you'll have an opportunity to see it, because it was a phenomenal presentation. The other item that you mentioned was that the district paid $10,000 to the legendary Charles Oakley, who is a former Knick player. I will say that, you know, we set out a very ambitious initiative this year for social emotional learning. And we're bringing in individuals whom we believe can inspire our students. And we use a grant. We know that the budget did not call for any sort of mentorship, so we have grants that we use. And we have grant money that's set aside in SEL, which is social emotional learning. And through that grant money, we are able to bring in people such as Mr. Oakley. I don't want anyone to walk away to think that we gave him $10,000, because that's not true neither. What we did was we actually purchased his book. He has a book, and so his book comes with a cost, and each student received a book, and I believe the high school gave them out. We were holding on for his autograph plates, and so we were waiting for that, and they gave out the books. We ordered several hundred books, so there are students who were not in the audience to hear him, but they have received his book. And so the bulk of the money comes from purchasing books for students here at the high school. Now, did he get a fee? Of course he got a fee, but it was nowhere near $10,000. The bulk of the money was in educating the students through the book.
And that's why I always go to the source.
That's why you
I
go to the
always
source, and
go
I'm
to
going
the
to
source.
give it to you, Mr. McGivens. Thank you for, and I really appreciate you asking those questions so that we can clarify that publicly, because it may be some misunderstandings out in the community, and it's important that people, know what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Oh, we thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McGivens. Are there any more questions from anyone in the audience? And there are no questions in the chat as,
I believe somebody's walking down the aisle.
yes.
Is he coming to the podium, or is he stopping to speak to Mr. McGivens? Oh, okay. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Mateo Flores, 201 Rushmore Street. I'm not here to ask a question, but I want to share with the board. First, I would like to thank the board for the support to the Westbury Youth Soccer Club. This year has been a great success for our students. I want you to know that we compete in the Long Island Junior Soccer League, and we also compete in the Long Island Cup. First, I would like to thank the staff that works at the athletic department for their support, Dr. Chase and board members. We won the league, the championship, for our U11 and our U9. Our U13 final game is this weekend. And if we win, gonna be in second place. For the first time, they playing in Long Island, competing with teams from all over Long Island. It puts Westbury on the map, and everybody's talking about Westbury. This Sunday, we play the Long Island Cup after winning throughout the entire island, and we went to the finalists. To the final game. Unfortunately, we lost 1-0. It was raining. It was a very emotional moment for our parents. It's hard to see our young kids crying when you see that they have worked so hard, and then the parents are crying, and then our board members are crying too. And you ask, well, what board member? I'm just kidding, but I personally want to thank Mr. Pedro Quintanilla for getting up at 6 a.m. on that day and come all the way out east to be part of this momentum. But also our youth 6 and youth 7 participating in the Long Island PDI, which is a pre-travel group that we compete with all over Long Island, and our girls team won all their games. That was such an amazing, and the parent engagement that the soccer is bringing is tremendously, to see the field full of our parents, making noise and yes, we can do it and we're gonna make it, and it's just an emotional thing that is hard to explain, but I definitely wanted to share these moments with you. I want to thank the entire staff here, really, that always supports our kids. And this year, Westbury School District went to the finals, won the Nassau Conference. And what I saw there is hard to explain. It's hard to explain the feeling when the community comes out and they are so into this, and see all of you there too. And that was the beginning of the soccer program back in 2014. And due to COVID, probably most of our kids, they have come to high school and they have done very well. This new group that is coming up, our U13, is coming to the high school this next year. And it's going to be a tremendous team that is going to represent us well. So On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Westbury Youth Soccer Club, the staff, the parents, and the participants, I want to say thank you for your continued support, and I hope we can do more together. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mateo, and congratulations to you and your group your group of athletes, student athletes for Westbury. It is a testament to the work that you've done. This championship that the high school, is a result of the work you put in years and years ago. And you continue to feed our teams to make them great. And I know you bleed green and gold because that's what we did in high school when we graduated together.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for all your time and effort, and you're really helping a lot of students find their way. To keep them off the streets, or give them a purpose that they may not have had otherwise. So continue the work that you do, and thank you so very much.
I thank you for your support, and to Mr. Quintanilla, thank you for coming with us. To the president that is not here, but I'm sure he's listening to us. I want to thank every single one here for your continued support, and I look forward to continue building characters and changing lives through soccer.
Amen.
And of course, we can do that together.
Yes, we can.
Thank you, and thank you to
All
the
right,
staff.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Seeing that there are no other questions from the community live and there are no questions in the chat, at this time, could I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss items of personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Cantinia, second by Mr. Keynes. All in favor? Mr.
Aye.
Keynes? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Cantinia?
Aye.
Mr. Ewing? Aye. Motion passes unanimously. There will be no votes coming out of executive session. I do anticipate us being there at least an hour, no later than 10:30. But again, there will be no votes coming out of executive session. Thank you so very much for coming. I wish you all a phenomenal summer. I wish you a great holiday. Enjoy yourselves. Get some sun, get some rest and relaxation, because we have a lot of work to do in September and August. So thank you very much for your time and attention. Everyone, have a great night. Be safe.
Good job, Mr. Vice President.
Are we live yet? Good evening. We are back from exec. Can I have a motion to end executive session?
To come out of executive session, so moved.
Moved by Mr. Cantanilla,
Second.
second by Ms. Wilson. Mr. Keynes?
Not Quintanilla, it's Quintanilla.
Oh, Keynes. Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr.
Quintanilla says
Quintanilla?
aye.
Floyd Ewing says aye. Motion passes. We're out of executive session. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Wilson.
Mr. Quintanilla says second.
So moved by Mr. Quintanilla. And all in favor? Mr. Keynes? Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Quintanilla, aye.
Mr. Ewing says aye. Motion passes unanimously. We are now adjourned. Good night, everyone. Have a safe trip home.